What is up, live audience? James Mars back here on the show with our newly minted Lock 22 studio. With me is Ben Shrewsbury, a lifelong Minnesota Twins fan. How you doing, Benny boy? Let me hide that for now.
Well, the bullpen imploded for the first time today.
Well, we'll get to all that. I assure you, you'll have plenty of time to discuss.
Please tell me this show doesn't have a time limit that I'm not aware of.
It doesn't. We could finish our news within 5 minutes, or we could take 2 hours sometimes. And we're not always going to be here every time. We're coming to you Sunday night after Sunday Night Baseball. This was Ben's idea. It was too good to pass up because, well, the first series is in the books, folks. I don't think there's anyone playing right now, is there?
No, and that's going to be the case going forward because the Sunday night games are going to run alone now. They're not going to run games after the Sunday night game anymore.
Well, that's good. That's good news. All right,
I want to talk about that at some point.
Let's go over the scoreboard for today. Twins had a rough one. 8-6 final. They lost to the Orioles. Rangers beat the Phillies. The Royals topped the Braves. The A's lose to the Blue Jays. Reds beat the Red Sox by a run. The Mets lose to the Pirates. Rockies lose to the Marlins. Angels lose to the Astros. So that went 2 games each in that series. And the White Sox lost to the Brewers. Big surprise there, although it was close. The Rays beat the Cardinals. The Nats beat the Cubs. The Guardians fall victim on the national stage to the Seattle Mariners and Emerson Hancock. That's our lead story today.
I was going to say, what do you want to talk about first? Because I want to talk about Emerson Hancock for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's talk about.
I could legitimately talk about this guy for 10 minutes.
Let's do the graveyard first, and then we'll get to the games. Okay. So if you guys recall, last week or Tuesday, as it were, it's 5 days ago, we talked about what teams we thought were the worst teams, and this is what we came up with: the Twins, the Angels, and the Rockies. And I'm not saying that we were wrong yet, based on the first couple games. Ben, you might feel differently. Go ahead.
I think we were spot on, to be honest, other than the Angels.
The season may play out differently. Mike Trout's on our lineup card because he came out scorching this season. I just like Bryce Harper's beard, so I put him in the middle. And, well, look at the look on Julio. He's like, oh, what it would be like to be on a winning team.
Oh, I went 0 for 12.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So here we are. This was our graveyard, and we're going to update the graveyard as the season goes along. We'll probably come up with a cool name for it, but right now, it's just the graveyard, okay? And look, the grass is growing tall around the gravestones, all right? This is not a well-manicured graveyard. This is decrepit, the lowest you can get, okay? So I'm going to update this right now, Ben. And we're going to do this at the beginning of every episode just so everybody knows what teams are. Basically, rest in peace. You could say the Twins are still they don't look good, Ben.
They got a foot in it.
They got a foot in it. But they got to win. So that puts them above the 3 teams that we have in the graveyard. The Angels, they resurrected a little bit. They split with the old Houston Astros of old. And so they're at 2-2. They got 2 wins. And the Rockies even have a win. And they only lost by a couple of runs today, or a run today. So the new teams Ben and I have semi-agreed on. I kind of said these are the teams that are 0-3. So they have to be in the graveyard. Here they are. The Chicago White Sox.
Good Lord, they're terrible.
The Chicago White Sox. Okay,
they're unwatchable.
And the Oakland A's, the Las Vegas A's, I don't even have a proper logo for them because I don't even know what to call them at this point. But
They're just the A's right now
in the
because they play in
center.
Sacramento.
They're in the center of the graveyard, Ben.
Yep.
And
they might be there the entire year.
You asked me earlier who was the most boring team for me to watch this week, and it was the Giants. They didn't even put up a fight against the Yankees. In fact, in 2 of those games, they were shut out. That's just abysmal in your own park. So the lowest of the low, maybe we put them in an order. You see how the A's are kind of a little bit higher in the cemetery?
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe the Giants should be at like maybe their grave is like halfway underground. There's just a sinking ship. This doesn't make sense to me. They have a good roster.
I want to zag on the Giants completely.
The A's offense, their lineup looks good on paper, man. The White Sox, they may never leave this spot again.
They may just stay there.
They may stay there. And I fully expect the Rockies to be back here. That division is whack right now. I think there's, outside of the Dodgers, there's 1 win in the entire division for this week. Unacceptable, dude.
By the way, I think the Giants are going to be fine. They're going to win like 83 games. They're going to be fine.
Yeah.
This was a horrid matchup for them with a manager who had never managed above college before Thursday or Wednesday or whatever it was. Whatever day they played on Netflix.
So, guys, if you're watching and you agree with us about the graveyard, I don't see how you could disagree. These are the 3 teams that have not won yet. And
you know what? The White Sox might not win before we do a show again. That is legitimately possible.
It's pretty bleak. I want to give teams that are in hospice right now are the Red Sox. The Red Sox,
they're fine.
The Royals,
they're gonna be fine.
The Twins, Tampa Bay, Philadelphia Phillies are definitely in hospice. The Cubs, for some reason, the Pirates, and the Arizona Diamondbacks and Colorado Rockies. They're all 0-3, but the Giants, there's no excuse for that. Okay? They should be well toward the top of their division.
I mean, they're going to be. I think they're probably going to finish second in that division because I don't think
there's 3 teams in that division that are 0-3, Ben. They all could have been in the graveyard. All right? So
yeah.
I guess you could argue with me that the Rockies still belong in the graveyard because they were there and they didn't win. But this to me just seems more egregious, and they fucking were boring as shit to watch this week. So keep watching us for the graveyard. We may add more graves, Ben. We may have to add more graves.
Do you know what was exceptionally hard to watch?
What was that?
Paul Skeens on Thursday.
Oh my God. If you tuned in soon enough to catch him.
Okay. Can I tell a story here?
Please, but let's bring the people up to speed. Paul Skeens, best ERA in baseball, best pitcher in baseball, based on what we've seen last year. Cy Young winner. He gets kind of shelled, but he kind of gets screwed by Cruz in his own. But he gives up 2 runs, and 5 runs come in 2/3 of an inning, and he gets yanked. I think that was a bad call. I think that was a bad move.
I mean, he threw 40 pitches in the first inning. I know,
but they ended up scoring 7. So, and they gave up what, 11?
Could have been more.
Could have been more. Could have been like he comes back in the second inning and he's a little bit better, but for some reason they're just like, he doesn't have it today. Goodbye, Skeeny. So his ERA is like 300.
So my story.
Go ahead, your story.
I was watching this game that I almost didn't watch, by the way, because my original plan was I was going to watch 4 games on opening day. I was going to watch Reds, Red Sox, Twins, Orioles, Diamondbacks, Dodgers on NBC, and then I was going to watch the Mariners game. Instead, I end up watching this game. And boy, did I kind of regret it, because when I saw it was Freddie Peralta versus Paul Skeens, I was like, you know what? Screw it. It's the first game of the day. I'll watch it, whatever. That game last night sucked, because the Yankees-Giants game on Wednesday night was horrible. And Netflix did a terrible job. And I hope they never get a game again. They will, but I hope they don't.
They've already got some on the shed.
Yeah, and I hate their presentation. Anyway, the friggin' so first of all, Matt Vasgersian's on the call for this thing, which is an insult to me personally, I swear to God. And then, as if it couldn't get any worse, Freddie Peralta gives up this absolute line drive missile to Brandon Lau in the first inning. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe the Pirates are going to win this game. Holy shit, they got Paul Skeens on the mound. They're going to be fine. And then I saw O'Neal Cruz play center field.
Oh my God. What was that?
Okay, I want to preface this by saying O'Neal Cruz, look, I don't watch a lot of the Pirates, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. They're irrelevant.
Pirates fans don't watch a lot of the Pirates. You're forgiven.
So do you blame me, really? O'Neal Cruz takes perhaps the worst route I've ever seen to a fly ball in center field.
All right. Yeah.
By a professional baseball player. Or maybe ever, just in general. And then on the very next pitch, he has a ball that is rope-a-doped right to him. I mean, it pretty much landed in his glove. And he just drops it. And this leads to the Mets getting 4 runs. And all of a sudden, and then there's this long at bat after that. I can't even remember who it was that had this really long at bat after that. That really wrote up Skeens' pitch count even higher than it already was. I think it was Benj, because Carson Benj had a really good game.
Do you think he was just pissed? And like the coach is just like, dude, I can't sit and watch this continue. He's gonna.
Do you know what I think happened?
I mean, we saw what happened, but go ahead.
No, I think what happened was this. I think they had a plan, and I think that plan went to shit very, very quickly. The plan was clearly to score in the first inning if you're the Pirates. That was clearly the plan. Get on Peralta early, and let's get the hell out of here as quick as we can, because we're not winning the other 2 games of this series. But we have a chance to win this one because it's Skeens.
They did win today.
They somehow won that game today. I have no clue how they did it. They did 17 stupid things again. But can we talk about how bad of a manager Don Kelly might actually be?
Yeah.
Because he puts O'Neal Cruz in center field and then yanks Skeens in the first. First of all, I don't like this overt focus on pitch count anyway. I understand it from an arm health perspective, but I don't love it. I think eye test should matter a little bit more than it does now.
Yeah.
And we saw it today with Emerson Hancock, and we saw it on Thursday with Skeens. Look, I'd have left Skeens out there. I would have, and I think you probably would have too. I think you'd have said, fuck it, it's Paul Skeens, just let him go.
Yeah.
He'll get out of it.
That's what I thought, but what do I know?
I thought he'd figure it out. And then, not only does Don Kelly walk out of the dugout, but did you notice Don Kelly did not walk straight to the mound when he came out of the dugout?
I didn't pay any attention to that.
He walked over to home plate, said something to the umpire, and then walked to the mound. I have no clue what he said to that umpire. But I imagine it was, do you want to see the stupidest thing you've ever seen in your life? Because I'm about to do it right now. And then he points to the bullpen, and here comes this reliever. Do you even know who it was? Because I have no idea.
No. I'm not.
Do you care?
No.
Do you have a? Do you care? Is a whole nother question.
No, I do not.
This guy walks out there, and this guy walks out there like he's going to a funeral. Okay, he does not run to the mound. He walks, and he walks very slowly, and then proceeds to get slaughtered quickly.
Yeah,
by the Mets in the next inning.
Yes.
Now we can talk about Twins Orioles.
Well, do you want to do that first, or do you? There's a new rule in baseball that I kind of want to talk about.
ABS.
The ABS rule.
I think they should have more than 2 challenges.
Well, here's the thing. For those of you unfamiliar, the ABS rule is an implementation of the auto ball strike challenge system. And that gives teams 2 challenges per game to review ball strike calls And that's either by the catcher, the pitcher, or the batter. They're the only ones that can call it. Managers are out. And you have to do it immediately. You don't get time to sit and stew on it. You have to do it immediately. I just hate it, man. Here's the thing. If you're going to implement this rule, to me, it's just trying to set up some kind of weird drama that doesn't need to exist. If you're going to use an ABS system, just have it go straight into the umpire's ear and have him never miss a ball or strike ever again.
I mean, that would make more sense.
Don't make it something public that the people get to see or have an opinion about. Even the batter can't argue with the ump at that point. If it's,
Derek Shelton got thrown out of the game today.
Yeah, if it's an ABS system and it's being called based on the computer, there's no arguing for the batter. You just accept it, whatever it is. The pitcher doesn't have to look weird. Us at home don't have to worry about if umpires are trying to cost the games. It just solves a lot of problems. I don't like the computer thing as it is, but I'll tell you what, Ben, if you just put it in the ump's earpiece and he calls it what it is, I'm 100% never going to even think about it, which is something that the home viewer should never have to watch. If you get a strikeout what if this happens in the World Series?
It's going to.
Called strike.
It's going
final out, and then he's like, no. And then the next pitch, he hits a home run. That's not good for baseball, dude. That's not good for viewership. It's not good for fans. And
they're going to have to modify ABS. They're going to have to do something.
It's so because with an upcoming lockout, you need everything that you can to make baseball better and look and good.
Do you want to know what I think is going to happen here?
Tell me.
I think you're dead on, and I think that's how this whole thing ends up with ABS. But I think they have to wait for the lockout, and it's going to be part of the next CBA that's what it's going to be. But they have to wait for the next CBA.
That would 100% serve and solve my issues. But I also wish they'd get rid of the challenge altogether because
they're not getting rid of it for out calls.
I know. I just wish they would. I'm a human error type of guy. I like that element of the game. It's always
until it costs the Mariners the pennant. Yeah.
No, I don't care. I'd rather do that than fucking sit there. I don't want to win on a cheap play anyway. You know?
So speaking of things I don't like, let's talk about Twins Orioles.
All right.
Because there's 100 things.
Hold on. Before we get into individuals, you wanted to talk about the stupidest team.
Oh my God.
I made even a graphic for it. So
yeah, my stupid team of the week is the Detroit Tigers.
And I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this. So
I understand they're 2-1.
The floor is yours.
I understand they took 2 out of 3 from San Diego. And by the way, San Diego was an absolute candidate for this, whatever the opposite of an award is. Because they did 17 stupid things too. But AJ Hinch may be a bottom 5 manager in baseball.
Explain yourself.
I don't know. And again, they won this almost entirely off the game yesterday because this is one of the worst managerial performances I've ever seen in my life. He has every hitter in his lineup basically struggling and makes almost no changes. What are you doing?
All right.
And then they get bailed out early in the game because that game yesterday should have been way worse than it was because Zach McKinstry decided to bail them out by making one of the better catches I saw this weekend against the wall, which is not an easy thing to do in San Diego.
Right.
The Detroit Tigers are a bunch of fucking morons, and these guys don't know what they're doing, top to bottom. They don't want to re-sign Skubal because he's too expensive. Meanwhile, they're all billionaires.
He doesn't want to. He told them he's not coming back. He told them, I don't want to be here.
Yeah,
so
because
why he's still even there?
Because they wouldn't pay him.
No, he doesn't want to be there. He said, no matter what you offer me, I don't want to be here. It has nothing. It's Detroit. It's all has to do with Detroit, dude. He doesn't want to be there. He's not happy there. I can pay him any amount of money, and he doesn't want to be there. But here's the thing. Despite all that, why is he still there? You could get an
That's another reason they win this award. Why is he still there? You're just giving me You're just giving me another freaking reason to put them in this spot of you're stupid, people. And you know what? They could win the division this year. Do I think they will?
No. They should.
Well, we're going to talk about why I don't think they will here in a minute. You can take their logo off the screen. I don't want to look at it anymore.
Fair enough. just kidding. All right.
So anyway.
All right.
The Twins proved me right in so many ways.
Tell me the ways.
Opening day. I'm excited. I use that in air quotes. I'm thinking, all right, 2:05 first pitch, here we go. And then the fucking Baltimore Orioles decide to do this long ass orange carpet thing. Were you watching the game when they were doing this?
I watched the last part of it leading up to the game, but there's a lot of
things going on, so they kind of changed how they were doing this like towards the end, so you might have missed this. But when they first started doing this orange carpet thing, they were having these guys run down one by one and not introducing the next guy until the other guy got to the end.
Oh god.
So this thing was taking forever. And it kept going. And I'm thinking, they've introduced more than 26 guys. What the hell is going on here? How many guys do they have on their roster? Are they introducing the entire 40-man roster? And Pete Alonso said something really funny after the game. He's like, I loved it. It felt like a movie running out on the orange carpet. And I said, Pete, you were hitless, Pete. What do you mean it felt like a movie? You couldn't get a hit to save your life. Joe Ryan made you look stupid. Seattle Mariner.
Ryan's good, just so everybody
future
knows.
Seattle Mariner Joe Ryan.
A future Mariner. Dude, for who though? And why?
With your luck, they'll trade us Emerson Hancock, and I hope they do.
I was like, with Emerson Hancock as our
sixth starter.
Yeah.
No, he's six.
Well, La Piadre hasn't even played yet. Luis Castillo hasn't even started yet.
Well,
is that tomorrow against the Yankees? I think so.
They were talking about it on the broadcast that Hancock's not going to be in the rotation when everybody gets healthy.
Well, Bryce Miller he's very close to being healthy, but I don't see him doing better than what he did today.
Well, anyway, so this stupid game, opening day for the Twins, Joe Ryan pitches among the best games I've ever seen him pitch. I mean, and I've seen him pitch a lot of good ones. But you were watching this game. Would you agree with me that he made the Orioles look like babbling buffoons?
Oh, dude. Until he was out.
For 6 innings, the Orioles looked inept. Incredibly inept. And they couldn't hit him to save their lives. And then the bullpen came in. And of course, it was your old friend, Justin Topa. And you love Justin Topa.
I don't. I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Former Mariner Justin Topa. And you know what? Would you like him back? Would you like Justin Topa?
No. Once they're former, I'm off. I'm off of it.
Well, anyway, Topa comes in and proceeds to just, again, you were watching this and we were texting. You said, that was horrible. What the fuck was that? What am I watching? What is this?
Yeah.
Why did Derek Shelton put Justin Topa in the game there? I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe you understand. Why was Justin Topa in the game?
Because they traded away their bullpen, dude.
I understand that, but why is Justin Topa still here?
Maybe he likes lakes.
Justin Topa, lake fanatic, loves them.
He loves lakes. I mean,
That's the only reason he might still be here. Anyway, he blew the game. The Twins were 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position. And then the creme de la creme on one of the worst.
Are you doing a you know what else?
Yeah. And you know what else, folks? Then Derek Shelton decided he hadn't ruined this game for us enough. There's a runner on second and 2 outs in the 9th. And Royce Lewis comes up. Or so we thought. Because he decides to pinch hit Royce fucking Lewis for Trevor Larnach.
Dude, why? What advantage are you gaining there?
Because he wanted to play the righty-lefty matchup. But the righty-lefty matchup doesn't matter when your options are Royce Lewis and Trevor fucking Larnach. Now, Damon, if I gave you the choice between Julio Rodriguez and Leo Rivas, and I really like Leo Rivas, by the way.
So do I.
But if I gave you the choice between those two with 2 outs in the 9th inning and a runner on second, who are you picking?
I mean, if I look back at even yesterday, it's Julio Rodriguez. Because in the 9th inning, with 1 strike to go before the game's over, he ties the game and sends it to extra innings.
Right,
so,
right.
Even though he's not playing great right now, it's still Julio.
Royce has not been playing well for about a year and a half. I get it. And there's talk that maybe they want to get rid of him. I get it. But Derek Shelton flew to Texas to stop Royce Lewis from demanding a trade in the winter. That happened. Royce confirmed that.
Trevor Larnach, yeah.
Now, there's talk among the local media here with people with sources inside the organization saying that it is very likely that the Twins are going to move off Royce Lewis. Okay. My first question is,
who's going to take him?
But there's talk that if nobody will take him, they're just going to non-tender him in the winter and he's going to be a free agent. Which, okay, if you're trying to move off a guy, wouldn't you think you want to maximize his value?
Yeah. Definitely.
But pinch hitting for him in the 9th inning with a runner on second is not maximizing a guy's value.
True. It's all true.
What are you doing? And then I'm going to fast forward here because I'm just going to get this whole series out of the way right away. We won game 2. We won game 2, big deal. I thought Taj Gibson looked really good, but ran up his pitch count way too early. He was at like 90 pitches in the 5th inning and got pulled.
It's game 1. They're still figuring it out. I mean, that's what makes Emerson Hancock like. It's either like, well, we'll get to him, but because you're going to talk about him in great depth. But just on that point, he went 97 pitches today, 6 innings, one base runner, and that was a walk. Is it because he's already at midseason form because he's great, or is it because the batters are still trying to figure shit out?
I'm going to talk about Emerson Hancock in grand detail later. Yeah, Trust me, I'm going to talk about Emerson Hancock. I have a lot to say.
And then game 3 happened when things were looking good.
Bailey Ober, I'm going to be honest, I would have DFA'd him in the winter. I would have. He was horrible for 3 months last year and wasn't great before that. He had 1 really good season and has completely fallen off a cliff since. And then today, he has a 4-0 lead. And do you remember what I said on Tuesday? That we're going to need
the worst bullpen in baseball.
Which I might have been proven right already.
Yeah. Because Magic 8 Ball, all signs point to yes.
Because for some reason, Mick Abel, who is listed on the Twins website and per Derek Shelton himself as the 5th starter. Mick Abel is the 5th starter in our rotation. So why on God's green earth did he come in relief today in a 1-run game?
Because you traded everyone in your bullpen.
I understand we traded everyone in our...
Who do you want to bring in that situation?
If you're gonna bring in a starter, just put Joe Ryan out there. Fuck it.
You
They can't hit him
do that.
anyway.
You can't do that. It's not the playoffs. You're going to kill him before the All-Star break.
Well, then we don't have to trade him. Then he's on the team next year.
Which means you won't get anything for him. All right, there's two things about the Twins before we move on. All right? And I'm not trying to cut you off. We can talk about them as long as you want. But here's my two things. Why the fuck is there a game between games in a 3-game series in the first week of the season? Why is there
I talked to you about this earlier.
Why is there an off day?
That doesn't make any sense.
I hate that so much. You play
just start the season on Friday.
You play
just start the season on Friday.
And then you don't play.
They should just open the season on a Friday. That's the answer here. Just do opening day on Friday.
But here's the thing. You got to think about all of the schedule. Like there would usually be a game going right now. But the Sunday night game is the final game of the week.
And that's going to be the case for the entire season. That would not be
possible if you didn't. But what's wrong with having an off day after the series?
What would be wrong with an off day tomorrow is my question.
Yeah, I don't understand, dude. I don't like a 3-game series split up with an off day. That's absurd to me.
At least you guys played 4 games. At least that made sense.
Well, I would have been pissed.
Granted, one of them was on Apple TV, and it felt like the Twilight Zone the entire time. That entire game felt like the Twilight Zone, but we'll talk about that.
It has been a weird week, having to figure out where you're going to watch games. I don't mind Apple TV. I think it looks good, but I think the guys don't know what they're doing. I like the presentation, but I don't like the baseball knowledge that they have is not in depth enough on these teams to call the game correctly.
Because Royce Lewis is a maniac who got pissed at Derek Shelton very clearly for taking him out of the game on Thursday, has homered in back-to-back games now.
Like, what are we doing? I'll show you.
Yeah, that was a little fuck you to Derek Shelton.
My last thing on the Twins before I'm ready to move on.
I'm just about ready to move on.
All right. So your conviction on the Twins prior to the beginning of the season was that they were going to be in our graveyard.
Yes.
So I want to know, was your conviction that strong that you are actually happy that they won a game in this series and are not in this week's graveyard?
I'm going to be honest.
Do you consider this week a success?
They should have won all 3 games, and I think you would agree with me.
I do agree with you.
They should be 3-0 right now.
So are you happy?
This team should be 3-0.
Are you happy that they're not in our graveyard this week? That's my question.
No, because they belong there, because they're terrible and they're stupid. And you know who was runner-up for stupid team of the week? Them. Because here's the thing. By the way, my bottom 3 managers, and this isn't going to change, in Major League Baseball right now, do you know who they are? Whoever the hell's in charge of the White Sox.
God,
that guy should have been. I have no clue. I don't care. Don Kelly, because that guy's a fucking idiot.
Will Venable.
And Derek Shelton.
Venable.
And Derek Shelton. Congratulations, Aaron Boone. You're not bottom 3 anymore. You did it, buddy.
I mean, they're 3-0, so.
Look, Aaron Boone is the worst postseason manager I've ever seen.
All right, well, you got to get to the postseason to be a bad manager there.
So, look, if you're getting outmanaged in the playoffs pretty consistently, even if you win the series by Stephen Vogt,
yeah,
I don't know what to tell you.
All right, guys, there's a bunch of you watching. If you have any comments on your team in baseball or what we're talking about, or if you want to comment on the new rule, we'd love to engage with you on that.
Damon,
yeah.
Damon, do you want to talk about the Guardians Mariners series? Because this was
Not really, but we have to. I mean, yeah, of course.
This was both a very fun for me. This was a really fun series to watch. This was probably my favorite series of the weekend.
Yeah, I'm with you. It was a very weird series because the first two games we scored 9 runs. We were 1-1, and we didn't have a single.
Yep.
No singles until the third game.
Would you agree with me that game 2 felt like the Twilight Zone?
Yeah, it really did. It's I was so happy to just have baseball back that I really was not that upset about losing on opening day. I really hate losing opening day, especially when the game's in Seattle. Especially after the run that we had last year. But it's humbling. Right now we're looking at 82-82 as our record. Here's the thing, Ben. This whole series has felt like the Twilight Zone to me, and I'll tell you why. Leo Rivas, Luke Raley, Cole Young, Brendan Donovan. These guys are
3 of those guys almost didn't make your roster, by the way.
No, that's not true. These guys are winning the game for us, which is really encouraging because I don't know if you've heard of players like Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, Josh Naylor, Randy Rosarina, who actually is starting to show up now. But between Julio, Josh Naylor, and Cal, they were like 0 for 20 in the first 3 games.
Well, Julio had 1 hit.
Julio had 1 hit in the 9th inning.
Did Cal get a hit tonight? I don't think he did.
God. I do think he got a base hit, yes. So, but anyway, these guys are stinking it up right now, and we're still 2-2 with a chance to have possibly won all 3 of these games. Or all 4 of them. Yeah. At least 3 of the 4 should have absolutely been won. But, you had a mishap in the 9th inning or the 10th inning yesterday with Brendan Donovan. And I'm not even mad at him. He didn't play third base at all last year. He charged a bunt and he just threw the ball away. And even then, let's talk about fucking Chase DeLauder. Who the fuck is Chase DeLauder? And
I'm calling him Chase to Slaughter until further notice.
Fucking 4 home runs.
Chase to Slaughter.
In 3 games.
Dude.
Good Lord.
It was 4 games. It was 4 games.
He had 4 in the first 3 games.
So Chase DeLauder, who is a early front runner for Rookie of the Year.
You think?
Well, it's going to be him or Murakami, right?
He has as many home runs as he has major league starts.
Yep.
That's
and
crazy.
do you know what's crazy? This Guardians team is so loaded. That guy could suck for a week and they'd still probably find a way to win 3 or 4 games.
Here's the deal. Last year they were like bottom of the league in offense.
Yep.
So you say loaded, I say scrappy. This is one of the scrappier teams that we're going to play this year. And they just don't go away. And today,
they're well run. They're well run. That's the thing.
I'm so glad tonight's game was nationally televised because 8-0 is what I want the nation to see. I don't want them to see a team that can't hit anything but home runs. So, I mean, home runs are fun, Ben, but they're not going to – if you score 5 runs on 2 hits and win, how often does that happen?
Never.
Almost never. That happened this week, and it's not enough. Not enough. So I guess what I'm looking at right now before we get to Emerson Hancock is if you have all of your filler players like Leo Rivas, Luke Raley, Cole Young, and whoever else they throw in there. Dom Canzone had 2 home runs in the first game.
For some reason.
He's good. He's got a lot of power, dude. He's going to hit like 30 home runs this year. But you have those guys performing at the level that they're performing at right now. Please stay that consistent all year. Because once Cal, Julio, Randy, and Josh Naylor sync up and they do what they have done throughout their careers, this is going to be a really hard team to beat. especially with Emerson Hancock, your number 4, 5, 6 pitcher, wherever you want to put him, is coming in and dominating like he did tonight.
Can I talk about Emerson Hancock now?
Yeah.
Because as a former catcher myself, one, him and Cal were so in sync. That was awesome. Him and Cal were just...
Cal's a beautiful game, dude.
I love watching Cal Rowley catch anyway, but him and Emerson tonight were on a whole nother level. I mean, really. Like, just right on it. First of all, how gutsy of this fucking kid on national television. And if you think he didn't know this game was on national TV, yes, he did. He absolutely knew. And he went out there. And first of all, it didn't look like his heart rate went above 65 the entire game.
He did look pretty cool out there.
Second of all, that sweeper he has, is that new for him?
Yeah.
Because I've seen this guy pitch and I don't remember him throwing a sweeper.
Yeah, nor do I. I mean, he's been really good in being called up to pitch in like just situations where a guy gets hurt and he's in Tacoma and then he comes up and he's like, okay, he's been incredible in this role. I mean, not perfect by any stretch, but he got to pitch in the playoffs last year because, of course, Brian Wu missed the first series of the playoffs. So, and then he missed a lot of the second series. So, he got some work, and I don't know, he's really polished, and I feel like very lucky to have an abundance of pitching with him being potentially the sixth man in the rotation, and then he does shit like that.
No, Ryan Roland Smith, who, by the way, I've got a lot of effusive praise for anyway, even said, like, yeah, he's the sixth guy in the rotation.
Yeah.
Like, he's not even one of the five guys in the rotation. This dude, you could tell from early on, yes, he walked Jose Ramirez, I believe it was in the first inning. And then he doesn't allow another base runner for the rest of the time he's out there. And he is making these people look stupid.
Well, and you know what the testament is to that, Ben? The guy that comes in relief, first batter gives up a hit, the first hit of the game.
Who was even your first guy out of the bullpen? I didn't know who the hell that guy was.
He's new to me, too. Fleischer, something like that.
Well, he kind of sucked. He didn't look great. And I'm not just saying that because he gave up a hit.
It's fine. I mean, that's who you want to bring up when you're up 6 or 7 runs.
What, the guy who's not very good?
Yeah. I mean, you give your other guys a break, you know?
And you'd used a lot of your bullpen. You'd used a lot of your bullpen the night before.
Well, I think Bizzardo had pitched 2 nights in a row. Munoz, no need to bring him in because he's your closer. And then Matt Brash, he's coming off arm surgery last year. Just let him rest. Bring in a guy that's not going to play a lot. And
So your rotation is insane. Can we go through your rotation really quick? Because this is just the most absurd thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, you had Logan Gilbert on day 1, which I question. I question that. He was not bad. He gave up 3 runs. It was 3-3 when he left. Pitched good. I mean, the runs he gave up, if you give up 3 runs in 6 innings, I don't have a problem with that. That's fine with me. Then you had Brian Wu, or I'm sorry, George Kirby was your day 2 starter.
And he was awesome.
He gets the win. Then you have Brian Wu on day 3. He leaves the game at 2-2, but he was brilliant for the first 5 innings of that game until he gave up 2 right before they pulled him out. Then you have Emerson Hancock today, and you still have Bryce Miller he's on the IR right now, started the season there. And you have
I think Bryce Miller would have been your opening day starter if he was healthy.
No way.
Who would you have started?
I would have went with Brian Wu myself.
I mean, it's him or
really it's becoming
Gilbert, right?
Like, who's your favorite? Like, I love Logan Gilbert was my favorite, But then you have Luis Castillo going against the Yankees tomorrow, and he was the opening day starter 2 years ago.
But let's not act like Luis Castillo has dropped off at all. That guy's still really good.
He is, but he also he has the potential to give up a lot of the long ball to the Yanks. So I don't know that I love that he's the starter tomorrow. But,
and you're on national TV again Tuesday, by the way. Or is it Wednesday? I don't remember.
Oh, boy. I don't like all this attention, Benny boy.
You're on TBS for game 2 of that Yankee series.
People are going to start knowing who they are. That's weird to me. That's never happened in my life.
By the way, why are the Mariners and the Yankees playing this early in the year? I want them playing in July or August.
Well, we got a first place schedule. So
I mean, I get it, but like
well, here's the thing about the rotation before we move on. These guys are going to have to get paid. Castillo's the only one getting paid right now.
And he's probably gone after this year.
I don't know. What's his contract? Is his contract?
I mean, he's got this year and next year, but you're probably going to trade him so you can pay somebody.
Well,
because you're going to have to pay this Hancock kid.
People have been advocating for it for a long time. I'll tell you right now, Hancock's 4th or 5th on the list to get paid out of this rotation. I think Logan Gilbert's going to be the first. Then you got to pay George Kirby, either George Kirby or Brian Wu.
I'd pay Brian Wu first.
I'd say, guys, we love all 3 of you. We're going to offer you all 3 the same deal. Please just sign it. Please just sign it. You're all going to make this much for this long. You guys have grown up together. They're all from our system, dude. That's what's crazy. And you know what else is crazy, Ben? You think about this lineup this rotation that's 6-man deep already. You got Ryan Sloan and Cade Anderson waiting in the wings, possibly this year. So that's like almost an embarrassment of wealth.
So I'm on Emerson Hancock's baseball reference page right now. Okay. I want to point out that last year, this guy had an ERA of almost 5. You would not have known it tonight.
No.
Let's not act like this guy was great last year. He wasn't. If your ERA is that.
Here's the thing. He was in what he was asked to do. And the frequency of how often. What was his record last year?
He made 16 starts, 5 relief appearances, 22 appearances total, 16 starts.
Yeah, I mean that's for a guy that's not even supposed to be at the major league level because he gets to play that much because of injury. That's huge, dude.
But here's what I like about him. It looked like he saw what he did last year and improved on it dramatically right away. Because if you watched him tonight and then go watch one of his starts from last year, they don't even look like the same pitcher.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't know it was him, who the hell's that?
That was incredibly dominant. And it's crazy because he faced the same lineup as those other 3 bros, and he showed all 3 of them up.
Can I talk about the Guardians for a second?
Yeah.
Because look, they're in my division. I'm not supposed to like them. And most of the time I don't. But if you give me the choice between them or the Tigers winning the division and who I would want to win the division, it's them because they're more fun to watch than the Tigers are. The Tigers, unless Tarek Skubal is pitching, are borderline unwatchable.
All right.
So if you give me a choice between the Tigers without Tarek Skubal potentially in the playoffs or this Guardians team, if they get a piece or 2, I'm picking the Guardians because it's like at least the Guardians are going to try and at least they're going to be fun to watch. I don't know if you remember this, but when the Tigers made the playoffs last year, they got murdered.
Oh, yeah. I remember who murdered him.
Yeah, that series wasn't
twice in that series.
That series wasn't competitive. I know the Tigers won a game, but it wasn't competitive. Look, I've seen a lot of Twins playoff series. The most recent one against the Astros where they won a game. I'm telling you, we weren't competitive with Houston. The series was over before it started. We won one game and we were lucky to win it, and his name was Pablo Lopez, as for the reason why. But look, the Guardians are the best team in the Central because they're the best run. Yes, they're a small market team. No, they don't have a lot of money, but Stephen Vogt's a really good manager and their GM's doing a really good job. And doesn't hurt when you have guys like Chase DeLauder, who nobody had ever heard of before Thursday, who can just come up out of nowhere and smack the crap out of the ball. It doesn't hurt.
I'm wondering how much of that will settle down once there's a scouting report on him.
I mean, there should have been already.
Well, we didn't. From what? He has major league experience.
Yeah, but you can scout him in the minors. You can figure out what he's good at. I understand the level's not the same. It's not even close.
So, at least you understand what I'm saying. I was like, come on. I'm not saying crazy shit here.
And by the way, the gap between AAA and the majors has never been wider than it is right now. It's wide. The gap is wide.
All right, let's talk about the Angels a little bit.
They might be my favorite team to watch if Mike Trout stays healthy.
Well, so they won't be your favorite team to watch for long.
No, probably not.
His body can't handle it, dude. Like, at this point, when he's healthy, he might be the best player on the planet. And the Angels
other than Shohei, yeah.
And the Angels had them both at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And neither one of them could stay healthy, by the way. Shohei couldn't stay healthy when he was in Anaheim.
I mean, that's fine. I don't think that he really moved. He just changed stadiums that he goes to.
Well, clearly the Dodgers trainers are doing something right because he hasn't spent any significant amount of time on the IL since he got there.
No, but their story makes me sick too. Like 3-0 in a division where they should have some competition.
Who's going to be competitive with them? The Padres
they just made it look
are terrible.
Easy.
The Padres are terrible. The Diamondbacks can't get out of their own way.
Well, they've lost a lot
of Giants
in the last 2 years.
The Giants are really, really talented, but really, really inexperienced. And their manager, like I just said, had never managed any level above college baseball before Wednesday of last week. So, hold on. Now, is it, confidence inspiring for the Giants that he got outmanaged by Aaron Boone of all fucking people? No. I mean, you're not going to feel great when you get outmanaged by a literal walking fucking airbag. But, you're not going to feel good at that.
The Yankees makes you have beer goggles when it comes to. I suppose Aaron Judge sucks too.
No, Aaron Judge should have gone to San Francisco, though.
I think he should have went to Seattle.
That would have been even better. That would have been even better.
Would win World Series, dude.
Look, he should have left New York because New York will never give him the respect he deserves. The rest of the league will, but the city of New York never will.
Well, that's because they've had it all.
Yeah.
Dude, you send Aaron Judge to a place like Seattle, he's never paying for a meal again, ever.
Or even a place like San Francisco. Or, hell, you want to get really wacky? Send him to Miami.
They're 3-0.
I think they're 2-1.
They're 3-0, bro.
Who are they playing?
They are 3-0. Otherwise known as undefeated, Ben.
Who were they playing? What? They are 3-0. Oh, they were playing the Rockies. Okay, those are fake wins then. I don't acknowledge them.
You knew they were going to be playing in one of the 0-3 teams. Not one in our graveyard, though.
Can we talk about the fucking White Sox, please?
Briefly. Yeah.
What?
At least we know that Will Venable is their manager now.
What the hell?
This is his second season with them.
What?
He's the 44th manager in their franchise history. He's focused on rebuilding the team and developing a young core following a period of historic losses, Ben. And those losses are going to continue to mount historically.
By the way, not to pivot back to the Twins, speaking of historic amounts of losses, is Derek Shelton going to have the worst managerial win-loss record ever?
Ever?
Because, no, hear me out. He was just manager of the Pirates for 5 years.
Okay.
And they couldn't win, 3 games in a row. Forget any more than that. And now he's managing this Twins team. That
you
doesn't
know what?
have a...
He got hired from the Twins. He probably just went home and was like laughing his ass off. He's like, I don't know how I got another job, but honey, I did. We're moving to Minnesota. It's a great
No,
food
we're
town.
moving back to Minnesota because he was here for 2 years before he went to Pittsburgh.
Great food town.
He's like, he probably went home to his wife and he's like, honey, I don't know how I did it, but I'm a manager again. He's a real boy, Pinocchio.
She's probably like, this again?
Dude, it's the same thing. The Pirates 5 years ago and the Twins now. Same situation. Is this guy fucking stupid? Why did he take this job? There's only 30 of them.
Don't blame him. He's going to want a job no matter what. Don't blame him.
Is it because there's only 30 of them? Because the Twins are a AAA team.
You know who I thought would have been a good pick for you guys? And maybe you probably disagree, but given what you are in now, it couldn't be much worse.
What?
I'd like to see Scott Service get back out there.
Dude, I wanted Scott Service. That's who I wanted.
All right. I'm with you there. I don't think he was... I mean, here's the thing. My problem with Scott Service and the Mariners was we have an elite pitching staff, and he could not manage a bullpen. But you guys don't have a bullpen, so he'd be perfect fit for you.
It doesn't matter because we don't have one. Do you know who I actually wanted before Service? Because the year before, when we collapsed in September, is when I thought they should have fired Baldelli. And this was before Francona got hired in Cincinnati. And I thought Francona, pre-bullpen blow-up, would have been perfect. Because he can manage Correa's ego. Because remember, Correa is still here at this point. And he can manage the ego. And he can run a bullpen. And he can maybe stand a chance at hiring somebody who can fix Bailey Ober.
Yeah.
But do you know who I think the manager of this team is going to end up being?
You think
potentially by the end of the season?
You think he's a one and done? Or a half and done? No way, dude.
I don't think it's impossible.
No way.
Or he'll get fired after the season. He'll be a one and done at the very best. Because here's what's going to happen. Jeremy Zoll, the current general manager, is going to get fired.
Okay.
Derek Felvey just got fired in January. We talked about that on the Dames Marv show. It happened very randomly on the same day the Vikings fired Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, which was really funny. And now it's Derek Shelton trying to figure out how to run a baseball team because he's a real boy, Pinocchio. Look, Luke Keeshaw's really fun. Royce Lewis is neat when he's healthy and not in an infirmary ward. And Byron Buxton, for as long as he's here, thank goodness. But these guys deserve...
Couple more months. Couple more months.
Well, that might... Well, he's not going to waive his no-trade clause, but...
You don't think he will?
No, he said he won't. And there's going to be no media pressure on him because the media doesn't care about baseball. Though they might start again because I do think...
If the team comes to you and is like, bro, you belong on a winning team. We got a deal made here. It's going to help us in the long run. If you care about this city, you'll go and win a championship with Seattle and help restock this club. We can sign you again at the end of the year. if you're still interested in coming back.
Do you know who I think is the one team he'd waive a no trade clause to?
I have no idea.
Atlanta, because he's from Georgia. I think that's the only place he'd go.
All right. Well, they might be in for it.
I mean, but they don't have the prospects to give up that we would want.
You guys could get Jared Kelenic off of him.
I don't want Jared Kelenic.
No.
Do you remember when you thought Jared Kelenic was the second coming of God?
I remember never saying that.
Oh, well, you loved that guy.
I remember loving Kyle Lewis as well. He won Rookie of the Year at least.
So I'd like to take you back to the Robinson Cano Mariners.
Oh, God.
I'm kidding. No, I don't want to do that to you. You might actually go into cardiac arrest right in front of me. Damon, who is your... We're through one series now. Who's your surprise team so far? Who's your team that you thought was completely and totally fucked and had no chance to do anything whatsoever that looks like they might actually do something with their lives?
Well, obviously the Angels. I had them finishing in last place.
They might not do that.
Split with Houston. The Phillies at 1-2 bothers me. Bothers me a lot. Because
they got some weird shit going on there.
They can mash though, dude. The Cubs are probably at 1-3 are probably my biggest disappointment team so far. What do you guys think? I realize a lot of you guys are watching on X and can't respond. So I apologize for that. I wish that I could send you to YouTube, but we're not live on YouTube right now. We're only live on Facebook and X.
Do you know the problem I have right now with baseball as a whole?
I can't even imagine what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Well, other than ABS, but we already talked about that. It's how spread out these games are. Trying to figure out where to watch these games is a fucking nightmare, because some of them are on MLB.TV, which is what I watch 99% of games on. Some of them are on TBS or HBO Max. Some of them are on Fox, which I don't pay for Fox's streaming service, and I'm not going to. Like, what are we doing? Like, some of them are on Netflix, which, by the way, fuck Netflix. They did a horrible job with that game on Wednesday night. Would you agree with me on that?
Yeah. I was not a fan.
That whole broadcast. First of all, I hate Matt Vescursion. This guy should never work anywhere near a Major League Baseball stadium again.
Dude, I don't hate him because here's the thing. That his voice takes me back to when I first started playing baseball games on the.
Well, yeah, he did a horrible job at MLB The Show.
But other than that, I just hear his voice and it brings me back to like 2001, 2002.
And then poor CC Sabathia, who just sounded like he didn't want to be there.
He sounded drunk to me.
Drunk and like he didn't want to be there. Like he was drinking with Jey Uso, who was also definitely drunk.
Yeah. Map the excursion. What was that, CC?
Dude, I love CC. That's the thing. I thought he was going to be really good. I thought he was going to do great. And then he shit the bed. What did you think of the commentary team tonight? I thought they were really good. I thought Benetti, Roland Smith, and that other guy were really good.
Well, I love Roland Smith. I mean, he's my guy, dude. I'll tell you what, Ben. We lost Dave Sims last year. And then we get almost to the World Series, but he was so responsible for so many great calls. I grew up with Dave Niehaus. Get out the rye bread and grand salami, that shit. But those guys still do it. Dave Sims did it. Ryan Rollins or Aaron Goldsmith does it. But Dave Sims.
I think Aaron Goldsmith is really good.
Dave Sims was a master, and now he went to the Yankees, which was his team. And so good for him, but fuck you still.
You got a
But
thing for losing guys to the Yankees.
I'm glad that he went. I'm glad that he left because this team we have now with Aaron Goldsmith and Ryan Roland Smith, I love it. And then sprinkle in Angie Mentink, everyone. Wait till you get her. She's great, dude. She's, oh my God. So many people.
Did you listen to any of the Twins?
Go ahead.
Did you listen to any of the Twins broadcasts?
Yeah.
Or were you watching the Royals feed?
No, I was watching the Twins feed.
Would you agree that Corey Provus is pretty good, the play-by-play guy?
Yeah.
And Morneau's really good. It's too bad they're commentating over the husk of a baseball team because these guys are actually like really good.
There's only one team that I hate in Major League Baseball.
Well, is it Fox's primetime team? Because I hate them too.
It's a team specific. Play-by-play, John Schriffen and Steven Stone.
Who are they for?
From the White Sox. They're the fucking worst.
Those guys are terrible. I mean, Stone's been around
good guys. Like
that was Hawk.
They suck, dude. They suck.
See, here's why Hawk was great though, because Hawk Harrelson was a total homer and would say the good guys thing, but like it was cool coming from him. Coming from these guys, it just sounds like impersonators.
Well, first of all, with Hawk, they were good. There's nothing good about this team right now. In fact, I'll double down and say of all the stadiums I've been to, that stadium is the worst one in Major League Baseball.
Where's Target Field on your list?
Oh, I love Target Field, dude. You know what I love about Target Field? First of all, you can park in the garage, come up the elevator and out the thing, and you're within 50 yards from the stadium. Or you can park up Mall of America, take the train, and you're 15 steps from the door when you get off the train.
It's great.
Game's over, you get on the train and go back to Mall of America. You don't have to deal with shit. The food in your stadium, Target Field, oh, second to none. The big ass meatball, the walking taco, the fucking mini apple pie. Give me a break, dude.
The hot dogs are pretty good for ballpark hot dogs.
We had the boomstick for a while, which is that 3-foot long hot dog. Oh yeah, I love Target Field. It's a very comfortable place to watch a game. I love how it's like tucked in to the city. It's kind of sunk in a little bit, and you get the surrounding. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful park. I wish it had a roof.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. If it had a roof that
did you know it was supposed to have a roof? That was the original plan, that it was going to be retractable.
I did not know that.
But the city wouldn't approve it going in that spot if it was going to have a roof, and they wanted that spot.
Retractable roof, though.
Yeah.
Does it look weird? Does T-Mobile Park look weird?
It would have taken up too much space. That was there. Right. Because I don't know if you remember this about Target Field. It is kind of crammed in there.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, so is Target Center, but like Target Field is really crammed in there.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a great area of town. It's easy to get to, easy to get in and out of, and the food is awesome, and the experience of the ballpark.
You know what we should do during All-Star Week? You should rank every stadium you've been to.
All right, that's a lot.
I've only been to 3, the Dome, your place, and Target Field.
I've been to games at the Kingdom before they demolished that. That thing was a shitbox, but I loved it.
I mean, so was the Metrodome. That place was a total shithole, but I love that place.
Let's see here. Petco?
40 games the last year there.
It's probably not Petco anymore, but the one in San Diego.
It is Petco.
Is awesome. Sitting out in right field in San Francisco. Awesome. Awesome experience. Oakland Coliseum sucked, but it's no more.
It was a shithole, but it was their shithole, so.
It was huge, though. Like, it literally was like the Coliseum in Rome.
It was a cavern.
And then you have, I've been to Coors. Coors is awesome. Awesome experience. Wrigley is second to none. I mean, even though it was old, they did some renovations there. Saw the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life at Wrigley Field. Their toilets are like a trough.
Yep.
And it was like last game of the season I went to watch the Reds when Sammy Sosa and Griffey were playing. And neither one of them played because both teams were out of the playoff chase. So there's really nothing about the game that was fun to watch. But eating Chicago dogs is always great. But I went to the bathroom, and the Cubs had just won while I was in the bathroom. And this kid runs in, and he slides down the trough head first. And I was just like,
you gotta be kidding me.
This is not the playoffs, dude. You guys are out of the No, that's just how drunk people get at Wrigley.
How old was this kid, if you had to guess?
24, 25 maybe. He was about
so this
age.
Was a grown man. This was a grown man.
Oh yeah, he was about my age at the time, yeah.
That's insane.
Maybe he had to be at least 21 because he was drunk. Oh, I guess you don't have to be, but I mean, say
shout out to that guy.
18 to 24. Yeah, he's probably died of some disease.
Maybe now. From doing that slide down the piss trough, perhaps.
St. Louis. Oh my God, dude. That ballpark is phenomenal.
Is T-Mobile Park your favorite stadium or no?
Yeah, just because I mean.
So it's like me with Target Field, where it's like, it's home.
I can get sushi there. The Ichi roll.
What did you think of the broadcast today doing the food segment?
I loved it, dude. It made me want fucking crab nachos. Are you kidding me?
Do you think they're going to do that every week? I hope they do a segment like that.
I kind of hope they do, because as they show different ballparks, we're trying to get people to the games. And when you show them like a 3-foot long hot dog that they call the boomstick, people are going to want that. They're going to be like, I can go spend $9.
I mean, the Twins don't have a primetime game this year. I just want to point that out. The Twins do not have a primetime national televised game this year.
The last 25 years in that hole. So I mean, I don't know how I feel about it quite yet, because, like, there's already in the first 7 games of the season, we have 3 games that are not on MLB TV because they're being hosted somewhere else. That's weird to me. That's going to take an adjustment.
So I was looking at the Sunday night schedule for the season today. I really hope they can flex some of these games later in the season, because some of these look like they're just going to be.
Well, that was the problem with ESPN, dude. You were watching like
Marlins Rockies in friggin' August.
Yeah, not fun.
No, there's just a couple of them where I'm like, ugh, because like the Rockies have a freaking national TV game in June, and I don't want to watch that. Do you want to watch Michael Toglia strike out 6 times?
Yes.
Against the Dodgers, perhaps?
No, not against the Dodgers. I really don't want to watch the Dodgers at all. They just kind of make me sick.
They're boring to me.
No offense, Dodgers fans. I don't see
the Dodgers are boring. I couldn't watch that Dodgers Diamondback series because I was freaking bored. I was just like,
first of all, it wasn't the Diamondbacks. It was.
Yeah, it was.
It was the Padres.
No, the Padres played the Tigers.
Oh, you're right. My bad. See, that's how boring it was to me. I didn't watch it.
It was so bad. Dude, I watched game 1 of that series and I turned it off in the 6th inning because I was like,
here's the thing.
There's a Mariners game on in 15 minutes. I don't care.
If you're a Dodgers fan, you're going to love it. You're going to be into every fucking moment of it. You're going to love it. If you're not a Dodgers fan, it's boring.
It's a snore. I'm probably going to watch like 5 Dodger games this regular season, and it's because they play the Twins twice.
I was going to say, how many times do we play the Dodgers? That's how many times I'm going to watch them.
Like,
until the playoffs. I'll watch every playoff game, but
I might not even watch them in the playoffs, dude.
Well, then you're not going to be watching the World Series.
I'm not sure they're going to get there, because it's really hard to make 3 straight World Series.
Bad. Well, okay. Well, this is a change, because 2 years ago we did our little show and you were like, I don't know why we're doing this. It's going to be Yankees, Dodgers. You were right, by the way. and you were like, the Dodgers are going to win. And you said that before the season started. And I was like, oh, Ben, you don't know that. But you're right.
And then we got to October.
But now you're like, I don't know. There might be a little more parity.
There's not parity. It's that these guys have played a lot of baseball for 2 years.
You think they're going to get tired?
I think it's not going to be parity that knocks them out. It's going to be, they're going to be so fucking tired by the time we get to October.
You know what I look at this as? This to me is the Roman Reigns being champion for 3 years.
Yep.
And every time you watch WrestleMania, you're like, why am I watching this? I already know Roman Reigns is going to win the title again. And that's scripted. This is not scripted. So for me,
it might be.
For me, I'm watching this and I'm saying, who's going to knock Roman Reigns off the top? Because it could happen, but it could also be the Dodgers.
I mean, look, if I just look at these rosters and look at the insane amount of baseball I've watched in the last 5 days, there are 3 teams that I think have a remote chance of beating the Dodgers. And I'm not saying I would pick them. I'm saying they have a chance. Does that make sense?
Give it to me.
Your team of Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez get their shit together, which will happen.
Right, but it's not even going to be about our offense at that point. It's going to be, can our pitching rotation mitigate their offensive lineup?
Right, which now has Kyle Tucker in it, which is like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. By the way, Kyle Tucker looks terrible in a Dodger uniform.
Okay, they all look like baseball players to me. I don't know.
Anyway, Pete Alonso looked weird as an Oriole. Anyway, that should have been a Met for life.
Dude,
anyway,
listen, let's talk about the Orioles real quick. You got Pete Alonso, Gunnar Henderson,
Adley Rutschman,
Jackson.
Tyler Rogers.
What's the Jackson guy, the young kid?
Jackson Holiday?
Yeah, Jackson Holiday. Colton Cowser.
Yeah.
How do they suck?
And they barely beat the Twins.
How do they suck? Those
I
guys
think
are all in their first 3 years.
Here's what we're gonna learn this week before we do a show again next Sunday night. Here's what we're gonna learn. Is it the Twins are better than we thought, or are the Orioles just really bad? Because all 3 of those games were really competitive and they shouldn't have been.
Yeah, I look at the roster for the Orioles and I'm like, how all these guys
how is this? Would you agree that on paper the Orioles should have killed us like 13-2 for 3 days straight?
Oh yeah.
It should have been over in the first inning.
Well,
other than the Joe Ryan game, because I think Joe Ryan is kind of an X factor there. But like, let's not act like Taj Bradley is blowing anybody away here.
No. Who do you guys got coming up tomorrow? Or you're off tomorrow?
No, we play Kansas City tomorrow.
Oh, I'm going to be watching that one.
And it's Simeon Woods Richardson pitching for us. Do you even know who that is?
No.
Have you ever been on a roller coaster?
Yeah, many times.
Have you ever been on a roller coaster that's really old and not well maintained?
Yes.
That you feel like you might die while you're on it.
Yes. The Timberwolf in Kansas City, Missouri at Worlds of Fun. Dude, if you have any kind of back trouble, it's made of wood, first of all. It's made of wood. So you're going over these planks and they're like, da, 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 and you're like, you ever see that scene in Ace Ventura? Where he's like, chitty, chitty, bang, bang. He's like riding in the car like this. Yeah. That's what that roller coaster's like. So yes, go ahead.
That's how I would describe being a Twins fan watching Simeon Woods Richardson pitch.
Okay.
And
I feel bad
the survival of the ride is if we win the game. That's how you feel like you lived and made it out and you're okay. And
your chances of dying on this roller coaster are pretty high.
They're pretty high. You're probably going to lose. It's comparable to. Do you remember how bad Bailey Ober was after he gave up the home run today?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how Simeon Woods Richardson is just all the time.
All right. Well, all right. We're coming up on an hour and 20. So let's talk about you guys got 2 marks on a spark tomorrow?
Yes.
Tell the people what 2 marks on a spark is.
I'm gonna change my background for this even. I can do that now.
Oh, I saw an unmade bed for like 2 seconds.
Why do you care?
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, 2 Marks and a Spark is a wrestling show that me and Uncle Russ have done here for God knows how long. I think it's the longest running show on this network.
It is.
Or it's gonna be if it's not already.
It is.
It is probably my best project I've ever done, creatively. It started as a show with me and my buddy Bryce, where we just talked about wrestling, and then Bryce had work commitment stuff, and then Damon came to me because me and Damon had made friends by this point and said, "Hey, my uncle likes wrestling and wants to do a show about it. Think you could kick the corpse at 2 Marks and a Spark and see if it moves?"
Season 4 coming up in April. Unreal.
And then we kicked the corpse, and now we're almost 4 seasons in.
Unreal. What are you guys going to be talking about this week?
The worst episode of Friday Night SmackDown I've ever seen in my life.
All right.
That featured Jelly Roll kicking a dude in the nuts 17 times.
Jelly Roll. That's
unbelievable.
You know, Ben, it is... The fact that Jelly Roll
yes
is a wrestler, it rubs me the wrong way. It rubs me, Ben. But
it rubs you?
Me.
It rubs you? Where does it rub you, Damon?
Why do I have
Point on the doll where it rubs you. Point on the doll where it rubs you.
Look at this. Watch what I do.
I laugh hard enough and my camera goes out of focus, isn't that?
There you go. But what I have to say about Jelly Roll being on wrestling is like rain in Seattle.
That's how I feel about it too. Let's preview the upcoming week in Major League Baseball before we get out of here.
All right, let's. Mariners, Yankees.
I think that's the best series of the week.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue. Looking at the schedule.
Yeah.
For what is it, March 29th through the 31st?
Well, we have
Twins, Kansas City. I'm excited about that. Texas, Baltimore.
I was just gonna say Texas, Baltimore is gonna be fun. Let's pick a shitter of the week.
Here's what's shitter for me. You got a 3 or 4 game series with Toronto, Colorado, when Toronto's already 3-0.
Oh yeah,
I don't like that at all.
That's gonna be horrific. Oh, the Marlins and the White Sox. Oh, good Lord, no, thank you,
dude. Why did the Marlins get to pick on the 2 worst teams?
The Marlins are terrible, and they might be 6-0. I just want to point that out.
Cleveland Dodgers. I'd like to see how Cleveland handles the Dodgers after handling the business in Seattle.
Might tell you how good you are.
San Francisco, San Diego is always good for me. I hope Boston crushes Houston, but I will be watching a couple of the Mets St. Louis games as well.
I will not be watching that. You have fun.
What about Mike Trout in Chicago
against the Cubs? I'll watch that.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how. All right, guys, before we let you off, I just want to remind everybody that we started with 3 teams.
We need more gravestones.
Do you think I should add 2? Like right.
I think we need 5.
Here and here.
Total. Yeah.
All right. I can do that.
I think we need 5 total.
I can do that.
Would you like to know my early candidate for stupidest team of the week for next week?
Sure.
I want you to take a guess. And it's not my stupid team.
Okay.
It's not my stupid team.
Gosh, I don't know, Ben. Let's say Pittsburgh.
If the Pirates pull Paul Skeens before the 6th inning again, they will automatically win that award.
Okay. All right.
And that goes. What's the Sunday night game next week? Because that's what we're gonna go live after.
I don't know.
Oh,
You're the one that has their schedule at the ready.
I had it. Hold on, I'm grabbing it again. We will be live next week after, presuming the game doesn't change, and I don't think it will. It's Cardinals Tigers next week that we will be live after. That game's going to be. I hope Tarek Skubel's pitching.
All right.
Otherwise, that's going to be.
We suck at staying on topic. All right. So these were our 3 teams in the grave coming into today. We came up with another 3 based on what's happened so far. Honorable mention, of course, the Colorado Rockies and the Padres.
And the Twins.
Sure, you can throw the Twins in there, but the Diamondbacks all shit the bed this week. And again, short week because we did our first show on Tuesday. But I want to remind everybody here, hopefully we're doing this every week, but we don't know that for sure. Sure appreciate you guys jumping in to watch this. It will be up on YouTube, and there will be clips going on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube as well. So if you are watching on X right now, or Twitter as I still call it, please head over to YouTube. Find this logo that's up here in the corner, Lock 22 Productions, and subscribe to the channel. If you just happened upon us, we do this as often as we can. And while it's early in baseball, we're really trying to do it every week. So if you agree with our teams in the graves, let us know on either a comment or whatever. But we really,
if it gets to May and both our teams suck, we may do it every other week.
Yeah. We'll just see how it goes. Because I mean, even if my team's bad, which it was the majority of my life, this is our 50th season. I can definitely talk about baseball and the good, bad, and the ugly. So the plan, at least as we discussed it earlier, is going to be after the Sunday night game every week, unless there's a wrestling pay-per-view, in which case that's probably not going to happen. Because 2 Marks does take precedent over this, at least for now. Yeah, then we'll just hit you on Tuesdays.
Yeah. It'll either be right after the Sunday night game or Tuesdays about 3:30.
Sweet. All right, well, make sure you check out 2 Marks on Spark tomorrow night. It'll be live on this platform. And
probably about 4 or 5 o'clock Central.
It will be live on X and also on YouTube. So
probably about 4 or 5 Central tomorrow.
All right.
Would be my guess.
Great. Good deal. Well, I'm James Marvis for Ben Shrewsbury. This is the show where we talk about the show that is...
Fuck you, Derek Shelton.
Major League Baseball. I would really like the show to become a movie. Emerson Hancock was a movie today.
Yes, he was.
All right. Any closing thoughts, Ben?
I'm
going to ask you one question as we close out because we got a minute and a half left.
Okay.
How do you see this graveyard changing over the course of a week?
Well, my stupid team's going to be in there somewhere.
You think the Twins are going to overtake the White Sox?
No. I think the Twins and the White Sox are going to be in like one of those like shared married graves.
Oh,
they're going to be. They're going to share a headstone.
I could do a double for the same.
They're going to share a headstone.
That's hilarious, dude.
Once Mike Trout gets hurt, the Angels might be down there, and I think the A's rise from the grave, and I think the Giants are going to win like 82 games, so they're going to be fine.
Yeah,
and the Rockies.
I fully expect the Rockies to be back in the grave.
Yeah,
but
I just look, your team. It's been a weird week. You're going to be fine. That's my closing thought. You're going to be fine. You're going to win like 96 games. It's going to be fine.
Wow, that's 6 more than last year.
All
right, my friend.
If Emerson Hancock pitches like this and he's your 6th starter,
I can't believe there's this many people watching and nobody has a comment or a question. And I realize that it's because of X, where there's 18 people watching right now. Thank you so much, guys. Seriously, amazing.
Elon's bad at his job.
But that's also what I'm saying. Like, if you enjoy this, please shoot over to YouTube and subscribe to Lock 22 Productions, LOCH, Lock 22 Productions. It's free, and there's much more content than this. Like, I do a little rant after every game, which I posted previous to jumping on here. Ben might join in at some point if he feels bad enough about the Twins. So thanks so much. I really appreciate you. Ben?
What?
Go ahead. Closing statement goes to Ben.
My one guaranteed rant of the year will be when we trade Joe Ryan for chips.
And as we come closer to the trade deadline, I will be making a bet to you about Byron Buxton waiving that little trade clause.
We'll see.
All right.
I want to see what he says on like June 14th when we're 20 games under 500.
All right. Love you, little buddy. Two Marks and a Spark tomorrow, 4:00 Central Time, probably ish, live.
4 or 5. 4 or 5, somewhere in there.
Live for 45 minutes to an hour with Ben and Uncle Russ. See you tomorrow. Dame's out. Ben out.